Is a big day for Deshaun Watson and his alleged sexual misconduct cases. The Texans quarterback is being deposed in a civil lawsuit against him. Meanwhile, a grand jury may consider possible criminal charges. We've got team coverage of this big story. Our Marcelino Benito live from the Harris County Criminal Courthouse, where that grand jury is meeting, and our Jason Miles is at the office of Watson's attorney for the deposition. So Marcelino, let's start with you.
Well, Sherman, we're told the grand jury was set to convene this morning around 10 a.m. on their plate whether or not to decide whether Deshaun Watson will face any criminal charges in these types of cases. Now, as you well know, in these types of grand jury proceedings, they are highly protected and highly secretive, so it's very difficult to get an exact picture of what's happening behind these doors in the grand jury room from the DA's office. But attorney Tony Busby, who represents the 22 women who have filed civil lawsuits against Watson for alleged sexual misconduct during massages, he tells us several of his clients were subpoenaed to show up and testify this morning before the grand jury. 10 women filed criminal complaints against Watson. 3 of those women specifically alleged sexual assault or attempted sexual assault. Now, the grand jury will decide if Watson will be indicted on any of these cases. Watson's legal team, led by Rusty Hardin, tells us they're delighted that the grand jury is finally taking a look at this. Hardin maintains no crimes were committed and are hoping a decision will come down ahead of the NFL's free agency period. Now, our KHOU legal analyst Carmen Rowe says it's very likely we could see a decision later today, but that could stretch out into Monday. The DA's office, meanwhile, tells us prosecutors will be issuing an on-camera statement once a decision does come down. We'll be standing by for that, and as soon as it does, we'll bring it to you on air and online. Sherman, back to you.
All right, thank you, Marcelino. And Jason Miles joining us with the civil side of all of this and that deposition. Jason?
Hey there, Sherman. Yeah, we did not see the football star himself, Deshaun Watson, arriving here this morning, but did speak briefly with his attorney, Mr. Rusty Hardin, and attorney Tony Busby, who's representing, of course, the numerous women who claim sexual misconduct against Watson. The deposition was set to start around 10 o'clock this morning. I'm told it could last many hours depending on what comes out. Now, take a look at some video. This side of the story, of course, deals with the 2 civil lawsuits filed against Watson, also related to alleged misconduct during massages. Busby was planning to question Watson under oath, something he says he has wanted to do for a while now. But Rusty Hardin, who briefly stopped, as I mentioned, for a moment this morning on his way into his office, told us he intended to have Watson plead the 5th, mainly because the same facts are still at issue before that criminal grand jury. Here's what Busby had to say on his way in.
The 2 women that we're going to talk about have not made any criminal complaint. There should be no reason whatsoever he can't answer questions about what happened. He's already admitted in sworn answers that the massage sessions occurred. He claims that they tried to set up sessions after, which is a lie. And so we're going to explore that.
I asked Busby about Watson potentially pleading the 5th to all of his questions. He said, quote, "Someone doesn't need to do that unless you've got something to hide or have done something wrong." Now, most parties agree that it's highly coincidental that both of these procedures are happening simultaneously on this side of downtown and the other side of downtown where the criminal courthouse is. Of course, we will be watching developments today and bring you all the latest. Reporting live from Houston Center in downtown Houston, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
A very interesting coincidence, Jason. All right, thank you very much, sir.